which brings us to the San Antonio Spurs. It's super tempting to go with DeJounte Murray, Derek White, Devin Vassell, because DeMar DeRozan is now on the Chicago Bulls. This is the most we've seen the San Antonio Spurs embrace more of a youth movement. Those seem like the prominent pieces to get featured. I'm still going with Keldon Johnson here. I saw Nekias Duncan compare him to Gerald Wallace once, and I just can't unsee it. The way that he plays with that reckless abandon. Gerald Wallace was nicknamed Crash. Keldon Johnson might as well. Like, he just does not have an off switch. He loves playing off the ball, it seems, where he thrives as a slasher. He always attacks the basket. There's a developing pull-up game. And beyond that, he's coming off a summer that he spent with Team USA as one of the young guys who got to learn from all the stars around him. Typically, we see big strides made from those players because it is not every day that you get to spend that amount of quality time in a competitive situation with players of that caliber. So it all lines up for Keldon Johnson becoming like the guy on this team for me.
Yeah, I think you go a number of routes there. I don't have anything to add on the Keldon Johnson front, and he was ultimately my pick. Looking at the rest of the roster, though, I came very close to picking Trey Jones, more so than I thought I ever would have, based off what he did in Summer League. I also think, while they are more established players, that you could go with Derek White or DeJounte Murray in the sense that the fact the Spurs weren't more interested in bringing DeMar DeRozan back without entering a full-on rebuild, because I don't think they're there yet. They've definitely skewed that direction. I do think it shows more trust in their ability to run an offense. I'm just more intrigued, but I think we know what DeJounte Murray is. We know what Derek White is when he's healthy, and I don't know how much of an extra gear they're going to hit. Whereas with Keldon Johnson, you kind of outlined it. If the three-pointer starts to fall a little bit frequently, if those off the bounce jumpers can hit a little bit, he ends up being like probably the second best cornerstone, if not the most important cornerstone on this team. So yeah, he's the pick for me. I think you could go with Devin Vassell too. I don't think they're going to give him the on-ball opportunity. I think he just plays more minutes, and maybe we're looking at him as just like a 3-and-D guy, which is fine. I just don't know how high Keldon Johnson seems to have the higher ceiling, both in role and actual ceiling.
Totally agree.
You could probably go with Jakob Poeltl here too, if you really wanted to, based on the rim protection. But
absolutely,
I think you could also go with Zach Collins if you think he's going to be healthy enough to play.
So you can't go with Zach Collins.
Wow, that was rude. But if I didn't pick Keldon Johnson, I'm not gonna lie, I would have went with Trey Jones, who he showed a lot at Summer League. So I think that's someone, if they were, I don't know how married they are to giving Josh Primo minutes right away because he's so young, and they did sign Bryn Forbes, but for guard play, I'm really hoping we get to see some of Trey Jones next year.
I also wouldn't really hate a Keita Bates-Diop pick.
Really?
There's an opportunity there now. His shot has never really translated to the NBA level, but I think that his effort level plays well in San Antonio and that there is more on offense than we've seen so far.